So we're going to start this. This is our temperature sensor. It's an analog input. What it'll be doing is this is our temperature sensor. It'll act as if it's being squished or touched or anything like that. And then it'll give us a reading over here based off the lights, depending on the certain Fahrenheit or Celsius that we hit. It'll light those up as it goes. Okay. So we'll explore the sample circuit. We'll look at the code really quick. Okay, now this code is going to be kind of a lot because of the fact that how this reads, this actually gives us the right input, but then we have to multiply it out to go from Fahrenheit. Okay. So then we're going to print the seal Celsius without a new line, put a C, Fahrenheit without a new line, and then we're going to refer to that. So it's if it's Celsius, it's less than or equal to, or less than base temp. So we're going to set 2 to low, 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 and then we're going to see set high, low, low. So this is if it's going up, and then it's base temp plus 10, base temp plus 20, base temp plus 30. Okay. And then it's going to be adjusting those based off of what we have. So if it's base temp is Celsius is less than base temp plus 10, it's only going to set 1. It'll set 2 if it's plus 20, 3 if it's plus 30, if it's greater than. Okay, so if Celsius is greater than or equal to base temp plus 30, then it's just automatically going to set them to high. And then it's going to wait 1 second to give a reading. Okay, that's the code. So we're going to check the simulation right now. So we started up. We see that we got power by the light on right there. Okay, we have nothing setting up right here. We're going to click the temperature sensor right now. If we look at it, that says 25 degrees Celsius. Okay. And as we raise it up, we'll see it go higher and higher. So that's 64. That's pretty hot. So we dropped it to 54. We got rid of 1. Okay, so now we got 44. And for some reason we go way too low. It still reads nothing. Way too high, it should read them all. Okay. Okay. We can check our output of what's currently being read by the serial monitor. So it's saying 61, 144. Let's drag this back in. We can drop that down. So now it's reading 49, 49, 120. And we can see that it dropped the temperature down. Okay. So if we bring it back above 50, okay, this is 52 right there. It's 53 over here, so it's a rough rounding error. Okay. So its base temp is probably in the 35 area. Okay, never mind, showing 40. Okay, so it's going 40, 50, 60 are its lighting areas. Okay, oh, base temp's 40 right there, so we can see that in our code. Okay. So now we're going to go build this on our own. Okay. So we're going to continue to the next step. So we're going to go and grab our Arduino board. We're going to grab a breadboard. We need to get 3 LEDs. Okay, we need 3 resistors. I'm only going to pull out 1, and then I'm going to set the size. And I'm going to use a Control-C, Control-V to duplicate similar options. And I'm going to go find our temperature sensor. So there's an NPN transistor. Kind of looks like it, but it's not it. So we're going to find our temp, which is down by our multimeter. We're going to drag that out. Notice we will not need any sort of resistor on the temperature. Okay. And we can see, so the V out, so that's going to be voltage out. We have power in and then ground. Okay, so let's go ahead and set this up. And right here, I'm just picking the rows. Doesn't really matter specifically which row we're in. Doesn't matter if it's evenly spaced. Oh. What does matter is if our anode is receiving power or receiving signal versus our cathode. Okay, so LEDs are directional in power. Okay. And then we're going to go from, you'll see over here, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to go 2. Okay, I'm a fan of turquoise. So that's from 3. We go pink. And your wire color can vary. We go gray. So it can be really any wire color for these. I'm just going to take a quick second and do a little dress up though for them. Get them aligned straight with the port. Okay. So we do need to run power, ground, and signal over there. Okay. So we do need ground. Okay. We're going to set that to black. We're going to go power, or positive power. Oh, it didn't pick it up. Okay, we'll go right there instead. Actually, let's clean that up a little bit. Let's bring this out. Okay, we're going to redo that line so we can see that a little bit better. So there's return. Supply. And signal. And signal should be in between. Okay, like I said, just a quick little cleanup. Okay. So we have our circuit roughly set up, except for, we can see what we have here. So if we check our posts, so this is ground, so this needs to go to the negative side. So that means this is power, so that receives power. Okay. So that's our circuit set up. Okay. Okay, we added the temperature sensor already. Okay, so and in the circuit schematic, you can see that the temperature sensor is connected to power 5 volts and ground 0 volts, and the analog to A0. As temperature rises, the pin connected to A0 increases its voltage. You can see that the 3 LEDs are each connected to their own digital pin. Well, we saw that in the code previously that we're going to end up turning it on based off of what temperature we see. Okay, so this is the rough schematic that we're looking at. Okay, so we have the temperature sensor getting ground, so all of these are returning into ground. Okay, there's our 220 resistors, and these are our LEDs. You can see the first one selected to 2, to 3, and to 4 on the digital side. You see the temperature input or output is going to A1 as input, or A0 as input. And then we see a 5 volt coming out around and feeding power in and then returning to the ground. Okay. So if we were to do this, so if we were to check the code over here, we don't have any initial code, but it's telling us to run it, and it should show up in the serial monitor. Go figure. We need to put in that code. Okay. Okay. Oh, it's saying that right now. Okay. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go build that code in order to see that. Okay. So this is the code initially. So I'm going to sit there and hover for just a second so we can all see it. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to be doing it from here. So code button, we have it clicked. Okay. The gray notation blocks are comments for making notes on what you intend. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to create a variable called base temp. Okay, or baseline temp is how they refer to it. Okay. And use a set block to set it to 40. So we're going to go set base temp to 40. Okay. To store this into value, create a variable called Celsius. Okay, so now we have the variable Celsius. In the math category, drag out a map block and nest two arithmetic blocks, 1 plus 1, within the first field. Okay, so we're going to go math, we're going to go map, and we're going to nest 1 plus 1 block in the first one. Okay, adjust the range from -40 to positive 125. I believe that that is the range of the sensor. Okay. In the input category, and drag out an analog read pin block and place it in the first arithmetic field inside the map. Oh, we wanted the range. -40 to 120. Okay. So we're going to go to the input. And we're going to read analog in the first one. And we're going to be reading A0. Okay. Adjust the arithmetic block to read analog pin A0. So we're going to go A0 minus 20. And we're going to do a parenthesis. Can we do a parenthesis? Oh. So we need to go into the math. Minus 20 times 3.04. Now we'll have to check that because we want to make sure that it's following right. And it looks like it's going to do it right for us up there based off of our coding structure. Okay, it should do this first and then do that. What I'm hoping. We're going to see if we get a funny number. Okay, And then we're also going to have to go set Celsius to. Okay, so let's go see what our next option is. Okay, drag out a set block. And we're going to go set Celsius. We're going to drop our map in there. Okay. Okay. Now I'm probably going to throw in just a separation in there so we can see that. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now we need to create a new variable to Fahrenheit. Okay. And we're going to use a similar structure. So you can see over here, we're going to actually build that. So we're going to go set Fahrenheit to a math. Okay. And so we can actually see the structure up here within here. So we're going to go Celsius times 9 divided by 5 and then times 32. So we might have to adjust this over here. So this little block for here in first place, this. And then place this in there. Oh. Come on, little block. And so you can see where those parentheses would be at, seeing that. So if we're seeing this right here, so we need to drop a new block in here. And we're going to drop one more block in there. We're going to grab Celsius, put that in there first, and we can see how our math is going to work out. So our first one, we're going to go times 9 divided by 5, and then plus 32. Okay. So add some serial monitoring to the block printouts. So we're going to go output, serial monitor, and we're going to go a couple of them because we want to output Fahrenheit. Okay. So we're going to output Celsius without a new line, and we're going to go C without a new line. We're going to go Fahrenheit without a new line, F. Okay. And so we want this all to show up on one line. So the last one we have is with our new line. Okay. And then click the control category and drag out an if statement. Okay. So in the variables category, drag Celsius variable and the base line temp variable and drag them into the comparator block. So we're going to go math first, and we're going to go comparator block. Okay. And we're going to go first Celsius to baseline temp. Okay. And it should read if Celsius is less than baseline temp, then our output should be the 3 set pins. Okay, so these should all be low. And this is 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So then from here, we're just going to adjust this out. And so we're going to be basically copying and pasting this if statement. So this is going to be if it's 40 or greater, 50 or greater, and then 60 or greater. Okay. And then we want 1 if it's just greater than 60. So this is going to be 40 or greater. So plus 10 to the base temp. Okay, so we're going to go math, comparator. We're actually going to throw this over there. So I'm going to pull those in for each of these. Oh. Okay. Okay. And this is going to be plus 10. Oh, sorry, this first one we actually don't need one. So it's going to be if it's Celsius is greater than baseline temp. Okay. So let's go check to make sure we're doing this. Oh, okay, so we see ands, and so it's greater than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Okay. So if we were to do this differently, I would do this in an if-else if statement, but it doesn't look like our control here. So we have an if. It doesn't look like we can do an else if within the blocks. Okay, I would do an else if within this. Okay, because what it's having us do, let's see if we can drag that out and set these out over here. So what it's asking us to do is take this and go and then it's saying this first part here. So this is greater than or equal to, and it's going to be Celsius is greater than or equal to base temp. And then Celsius is less than or equal to base temp plus 10. Oh, that block should go. No, I want this. There we go. This block should go here. Okay. And then our output should be, because this is our first step, should be low, low, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. I know it's a long chain there. This is where typing would probably be a little bit easier because you can copy and paste, but getting the base structure in there would be a little bit more difficult. Okay. So let's pull these out of the way. Okay. So then we're going to put in our comparator. So this is going to get our 2 lights lit up. Okay, so our first one is always going to be this. Base temp is greater than or equal to. Okay, Celsius is base temp greater than or equal to. Okay, now some people would think, okay, well, we did plus 10 here, but the and statements means both of these statements have to be true, so we can leave this as just this base statement right here. Okay, which means that we can pull in and drop one in there. And we should be able to pull another one in and drop that just right there. No and statement, because what we're going to do is we're going to make this greater than or equal to plus 30. Okay. Okay, so now we need to go into our base temp is less than or equal to our base temp plus 20. Okay. So we're going to fill this other side. And I could have just pulled those and dropped those in. I just realized that. Okay. Now we're going to grab our variables. We're going to drop in Celsius and base temp. We're going to set that greater than or equal to. And we're going to go Celsius in the first one on both sides. And we're going to go less than base temp plus 20. And then plus 30. Okay, so this is going to be greater than base temp plus 30. Okay, now reality is that this should handle this same statement down here. There should be no difference in this. Okay, actually this one is. Okay. Okay, now we're going to go output. Now you might ask, why do you have to put in 3 highs? Couldn't you just put the one that you want to turn on? You could, but you'd have to set an off statement down below. And at that point, then you're always hitting it. So that's going to be high, high, low, all 3 high. We want 2, 3, and 4. We want 2, 3, and 4 also. Now we might do something here that's kind of fun. Okay. So we're going to do a count up. Okay, let me think about that. We don't need the count up. But we are going to do this. We're going to set up something a little bit fun here. We're going to still have the 3 highs, but we're going to set a delay in between. And then we're going to set 3 more down here for lows with a delay in between. And so what it'll do is it'll progress up and then progress down, and then it'll check again. Okay, we're going to set wait for 1 second. So we're going to put a wait in between each. Now this wait statement's actually going to be shorter than a second. We're probably going to have it be 1/10 of a second. Okay, so we can go 0.1 in each of these. 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1. Okay, we're going to set this one to 2, 3, 4. We're going to go 2, 3. Actually, we want to go 4, 3, 2. 2. We're going to go low, low, low. Okay. So this looks pretty big. It's because it kind of is. and then the unique part that we're doing down here. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the serial monitor. We're going to start our simulation for over here. Currently it's reading 25 and then 77. So I already see something that I should change. Okay, so we're going to stop the simulation. We're going to zoom in right here, and we're going to put a space at the end of it and then a comma so we can tell the difference in between our outputs there. Okay, so you can see that's already cleaned up that a lot. So now we can see it's 25C. Okay, so we're going to zoom in over here. We're going to adjust this up, and so we should see, well, that's right, our base temp's 40. So this is, I might not have set that. Okay. So we're reading wrong there. Or I have the, no, should be 444. Okay, so let's try that again. I'm going to set that to 30. Okay. So we'll have to do some troubleshooting. Okay. So this is greater than base temp plus 30. That should be fine. We should only be seeing one on. So our base temp is 40. And our Celsius, I'm wondering if our math is showing up wrong up here. No, it's reading 43. It might be our math. A0 minus 20 times 3.04 to range. Yep, let's check that out. Make sure we are looking right. Negative 40. Okay, Celsius. Okay. Base temp is less than 40, then okay, base temp lows greater than or equal to and Celsius. Oh. Okay. So we have the plus 10 there. Okay. Yeah, we're all set up. Okay. Well, I'll have to do some troubleshooting for that. Okay. But I got to run to my other meeting. So I will, once again, I'll clip on the rest of this video, how it works, and get that going for you guys.